The Stone Goddess, beautiful sonnet by Sri Aurobindo. The Stone Goddess, literally this meaning is very much clear to you because the goddess carved out of a stone. So this goddess we are talking about the stone goddess, but I want to tell you some background story. It is from Sri Aurobindo. It's an illuminating incident that occurred near Chandor. Very illuminating experience as experienced by our Lord. Don't think that Lord is not having so much experience, but thing is that this is the Leela of our Lord, because he is above all, bound by nothing, attached to nothing. Simply he is from the supramental sphere, from the sphere of light, immortality, truth, superconscient, and he is above all, beyond all, simply incredible. But thing is that this is by the process of his Leela. We want to know some few lines about his experience and how this great sonnet, one of the greatest sonnets, this stone goddess have been written. Very interesting story, I will tell you. Sri Aurobindo went along with some friends to visit temple of Kali. Temple of Kali, he went to visit with some of friends. This temple, Kali temple, was situated in the banks of Narmada at Chandur. He just, strolled there. No attraction towards the image worship being the mentality and the psychology of a European. And the then Sri Aurobindo, who was almost brought up, definitely brought up, not almost, definitely brought up in the splendid European atmosphere. Study was almost, it was covering Latin, Greek, English like this. Although born in India, but actually, that 14 years exile is equivalent to exile of 14 years of Lord Rama. So here he was taken to this temple, but he was abhorred. Simply he did not have any interest in image worship. And almost you can say he was against it. Simply he did not have this Indian and Hindu mythology, did not trust in it, abhorred, against it. But when he went to the shrine, found the living presence of the God. Living presence of the God, I am telling. It has been written somewhere it has been written with beautiful, Sri Aurobindo quotes. It's in his own words I want to sketch, I want to tell you. With the European mind, I had no faith in image worship and hardly believed in God's presence. Totally European mindset. No faith in image worship or believed in the God's presence. But compelled to do so, I was compelled to do so against my nature's bent, things were happening. But when he looked at the image, found the living divine presence, that what he witnessed inside the Kali's face. Then Sri Aurobindo quotes beautifully, a sculpture, a gracious piece of architecture, but in a moment, mysteriously, unexpectedly, there is instead a presence, a force, a power. Unexpectedly and mysteriously, Sri Aurobindo uses. Mysteriously and unexpectedly, there is instead a presence, a power, and a force that looks into yours. Sri Aurobindo could realize he is a Gnostic, so-called Gnostic, did not have any bare minimum trust, faith in the image worship, found the living presence. And not only the living presence, he could be steadily and unexpectedly there could be witnessed a presence, a power and a force you can't imagine. An inner sight in you has regarded the great world mother. It is with the outer view can't be able to understand what really was going on, but in the inner view, if you can be able to rush in, to realize, then there is a great belief, the presence of the world mother. It was realized, it was regarded by the Lord, by our Lord. This is the first experience, so-called Indian mythological experience you can find there. Great, really that great experience, thrilling experience, chilling experience. You can't imagine, and Sri Aurobindo believed. And with this belief, he started writing this great poem, great sonnet, that is, the stone goddess. I want to quote one or two lines. I have two comments I want to see. That's what. Again, I want to read in another way how Sri Aurobindo has sketched his experience. You stand before a temple of Kali, beside a sacred river Narmada, and see what? Temple of Kali. You are standing before that, beside the sacred river, and see what? A sculpture, a gracious piece of architecture, but in a moment, intensely, mysteriously and unexpectedly, there is instead a presence, a power, a force, and that looks into yours. Three things you can be, were visualized before the great goddess Kali, standing by the bank of river Narmada. Unexpectedly and mysteriously, he could be able to find a presence, a power, a force look into yours. An inner sight in you has regarded the world mother. You can see, if you are acquainted with Savitri, you can find a couple of lines I want to recite before you. I who have seen behind the cosmic mask the glory and the beauty of thy face. The Lord is quoting, standing before the Aditi, Savitri. I who have seen behind the cosmic mask, I have seen what? The glory and the beauty of a face. Just imagine. Even that imagination we can remember in his, madness. Others take India as a land of rivers, mountains, valleys, so and so. But for me, it is the mother. For me, it is the mother, my mother. That's what Sri Aurobindo visualized. You have seen the great desert. There is no, even the negligent, there is the null. Absolutely, there is no sign of life. But I have seen, that is the difference, that makes the difference. I have seen the stones, like the heap of stones, almost like a mountain. So where these bone mountains, mountain of bones came, there was life previously. And everything has been deserted, distorted, destroyed. But the thing is that you are unable in your external vision, outer vision, there is nothing. But for me, I have seen the heap of bones almost touching the sky like a high hill. There was a possibility of life. There was life, not possibility. There was life. Life has been devoured, destroyed. But still then, I have seen where a great civilization was there. There itself you can find only a desert. Rikta is Rikta, only sand and sand, great desert. Now itself I want to quote few lines from this sonnet, great sonnet, Stone Goddess. How Sri Aurobindo visualizes. In a turn of gods, housed in a little shrine, some sculptured limbs of Godhead looked at me. Just imagine. Imagine this great poet by Wordsworth, you have remembered. The solitary reaper. The small lady is actually, reaping the corns, just grumbling. just whispering, murmuring, singing some songs. But nobody is able to understand what she is doing. Okay, something is being done. This small lady doing something while reaping the corns, collecting the corns. But Wordsworth was too smart to understand and too deep to undergo the meaning of that song, which was being murmured. And a great poem, the solitary reaper came into vision. That's what you have known, you have seen. Living presence, deathless and divine. Deathless and divine, that living presence. The limbs of the Godhead looked at me, he can find. It looked at me. The presence was living, deathless and divine. A form that harbor all divinity, not the ordinary presence, not the ordinary touch, nor ordinary thrill, but it was a harbor all infinity, a form that harbor all infinity. Then Sri Aurobindo quotes, the great world mother and her mighty will. Could able to understand. I have seen, I have touched, I have glimpsed, I have visualized, I know you are. What you are? The great world mother and her mighty will inhabited the earth's abysmal sleep. Earth's abysmal sleep. Sleep? What type of sleep? Earth's abysmal sleep inhabited. Voiceless, omnipotent, inscrutable. Can you imagine? This is Sri Aurobindo. This is Sri Aurobindo. The great description you can see. And of course, I think you are attending classes. Especially, I do take Savitri classes since years. Maybe from decades I keep taking. And you people, in one form or another, in one place or another, in one time or another, in 1 year or another, you keep attending from decades. So that is the glory, magnificent, magnificent description by the Lord of the Supermind. Glorious description. And here also you can find just a glimpse. Voiceless, omnipotent, inscrutable, mute in the desert and the sky and the deep. Just imagine. Great description. For that actually you need a heart. Your psychic must be open. Otherwise this mind is incapable of collecting, receiving and understanding. And the glorification is the great matter, it's a big matter for you. Then what happens? Mute in the desert and the sky and the deep. Now veiled with the mind she dwells and speaks no word. Just a glimpse, being glimpsed by the Lord. Now veiled with mind she dwells and speaks no word. Voiceless, inscrutable and omniscient. Initially we have seen it has been equivalent terms have been repeated. Initially you have heard what? This is voiceless, omniscient and inscrutable. Second page, Sri Aurobindo quotes in the third stanza. Voiceless, inscrutable. Voiceless, inscrutable. Two terms have been repeated. But there itself it was omnipotent. Here it is omniscient. But thing is that the order is changed. I will quote you again. Initially it was written voiceless, omnipotent, inscrutable. Voiceless was the first word. Second omnipotent. Third is inscrutable. In the third, this was in of course second stanza. In third stanza, line number 2, you can find voiceless is first word, same. There itself inscrutable was a third word, but inscrutable here is the second word. And the third, here in the second stanza, you found that is omnipotent. Here this is, that was in second word. Here third word in omniscient. Hiding until our soul has seen, has heard. Because it can't be listened by your sense organ. It can't catch it. It is unable, incapable of holding this great thing by your mind. Only the awakening soul can be able to understand and judge it. Then you can find the secret of our strange embodiment. It can be understood, it can be visualized, it can be caught in the nets of the soul or psychic being. Definitely you can't catch hold of it in your outward surface mind or in the groping mind. One is the worshipper and the immobile shape. A beauty and a mystery place or stone can trip. Just imagine how the concluding lines are there. One is the worshipper. Worshipper is inside you, and the immobile shape, a beauty and a mystery, place or stone can trap. Just imagine we are lucky to read Sri Aurobindo in this great aspiring sonnet, the stone goddess. With the background, we have come to this conclusion. Sri Aurobindo really great. You see how many spiritual experiences came in themselves to him. Number of we have defined. We have also described one by one with a sudden unexpectedness before he had begun even the yoga seriously, because he told, mine is the side door into spiritual life. There itself, physically, outwardly, superficially, apparently, it did not begin his yoga. But still then you can find the graceful experience of the stone goddess, who has created a great poem like the sonnet, like the the stone goddess. And we are happy, we are lucky, really lucky, being under the direct influence and direct guidance of the Lord, who is omnipotent, omniscient, inscrutable. Everything is there. You can realize this is the really great charm and attraction which brings magnanimity, because this is the great description by our Lord. Nobody can understand, nobody can realize what really is going on here. And this great poem has been here with us with this great experience, and we are lucky. We express our gratitude. Vande Mataram. Dhanyavad.